We're back on the air Wednesday night. It's Inside the Headset, and we roll down to Stewart's Creek High School. And we've not talked to our good friend, Coach Ben Caudill, and he is now with us on the phone. And, Coach, how are you tonight?
Hey, Stuart, doing good, and apologize I wasn't able to make it last week. We actually had a night practice on Wednesday night. Our field is still getting installed, and our new turf field, which is almost done, and so that's why I wasn't able to make it.
Are you out there working on it now? I mean, I hear you huffing and puffing. I didn't know if you was like putting part of the turf in the end zone or working on it right now.
Hey, if they would let me do that, I would definitely help. But we've got a install team in from Texas, and they've been working hard, and they've actually got the key to turn the lights on to do some of the work at night as well when it's not as hot, and definitely going to be really exciting for our school and our team to have our new field done here pretty quickly.
And talk to people about that. When you get the green light and the board approved it, and congratulations on getting turf, because it's not only about football, but it's about the school as a whole, and to be able to utilize that field all the time, whether it be soccer or lacrosse or whatever you need it for. But when you found out that the daggone thing was going to come up out of the ground, and we're going to do this, and we're not going to be a true grass field anymore. What was running through your mind after you got it? Of course, you still knew you had to take it to the school board, but you had a pretty good idea they would pass it. And then after it passed, and you knew it was going to take place, take it from there, Coach.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things that happen really quickly as soon as it's done. Obviously the first thing is we stopped, paying for all the irrigation and fertilization, fees in the off season, and so there was some money saved there, but, another thing, Stork, on top of everything you mentioned, is Stewart's Creek High School actually hosts both of the state band competitions.
Wow.
And, there's two different, leagues with that, and, there's, bands of all, schools and sizes from Memphis all the way.
How did you all get in on that? Was it just location, and is it a bid on Middle Tennessee? Because I'm sure, since we're in the middle, but wow, congratulations. I did not know that the state high school band competition is held at Stewart's Creek High School. That's pretty cool, but keep going.
Yeah, so we got two band, conductors, Chester and Burton, who just do an unbelievable job. And, the reputation of our band is, pretty well known, and it is truly, a sight to behold when you see all these buses, and, they're from the elementary, middle, high school, everywhere, and it's a really impressive event. Also, our youth league is really grown going into year 2. They play on our grass field as well, and that was, kind of something that really accelerated, the process for us. Our game field just couldn't keep up. Our practice field's not as big either, and, we're always doing a little work, on our game field to get ready, so it's going to be a huge blessing once it's done. It's also, presented a lot of challenges. We've been on the bus 6 or 7 times already and only played one game, which, has really given, our team a lot of resolve, I think, and so we're excited to get it done and open up on our turf on September the 9th against Franklin.
And when you talk about youth football, I have that's where I came from, and of course, I started down there in Smyrna. That's where I cut my teeth in '98. But when you start talking about how many, and it's little kids. But, man, I mean, I don't want to be mean to the little guys, but, I mean, you get all their cleats out there, and you have a game at 9 o'clock, and then a game at 10:30, then a game at 11:45, and a game at 1:30, then we crank one up at 3:30, then we do one long about 5, and then AAA cranks up at about 7 o'clock. You run an 8-game schedule on a high school football field from 9 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, and I've seen it be done. And you do that for, 4 or 5 Saturdays, your field can't take it, and then take Friday night, and then take all the other stuff it's got to take. There's no way.
I think that's really well said. Last year there were 2 Saturdays that really we got a lot of rain, on Friday night, and it even rained on Saturdays. And Stork, you know how it is in youth leagues. I mean, you got to get your gates and concessions, to fit a lot of your stuff, your insurance and, cost of, everything it takes to run, your youth league. And so we're really blessed to have a great president, Derek Potter, who's done an unbelievable job, a lot of organic growth. And I know they're excited to, you think about a 5 or 6 year old running around on a turf field. That was not something that I grew up ever thinking about.
No. Far from it,
So
yeah. So that'll be great for them, and also just the ability, like you say, you can go further up into the season, and if you do have a little bit of rain, it's okay. The drainage goes off, and yeah, the kids slip, but no big deal.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting, and definitely excited for our team as well. I could really sense a lot of excitement. It was really a nice shot in the arm, yesterday when they started rolling it out. And, our players were really excited when they got out to practice yesterday and saw that.
Well, I will say this. It wasn't good for you all last Friday night, and you all are a team that just seems like as you continue to play the team of the purple and gold, you stare at it and everything. It seems like you get 1 point closer at the point of just getting, able to maybe win one against the Smyrna Bulldogs, but that did not happen Friday night. But it was in a tough one, went back and forth and everything, but that's a tough place to play over there, isn't it, Coach?
Yeah, I think
and they got turf, and so that was a little bit different too, because it's not the same Smyrna.
Yeah, it was a big night for their community, obviously field dedication, all those types of things. It was 7-7 there, in the second quarter, and we just sustained a really, nice drive and got the ball back, and, we had some snap issues on offense, and anyway, so it's 7-7, and we're snapping, on punt, and our punter just drops the snap.
Oh my goodness!
So we kind of gave them 7 points there. We, proceeded to, fumble a sky kick, and anyway, Stork, it's 21-7, there with about 2 minutes left, and we get a huge stop on defense, and it's 4th-11, and we got a personal foul. One of our, players, picked a very bad time to run his mouth, and that proceeded to extend their drive. And so we were sitting there, really excited after a big stop, ready to get the ball back with 2 timeouts and also receive the, second half kickoff. And it was, needless to say, it was a second quarter to forget, but here's, what I take from that game. Since I've been at Stewart's Creek, it was by far the most talented Smyrna team that we've played against. Whenever you have a, athlete at running back that's going to play, at a school like Memphis and a lineman playing there, they've got a 4-year starter at quarterback. There were a lot of really good things we did, held their quarterback to 3 of 14 with an interception, held their running back to less than 100 yards, and, did a lot of things that, if you told me before the game, I would have definitely taken those facts. But it just speaks to field position and, some special teams, mistakes like not fielding the snap, on punt and kickoff return and those types of things. So those are easy.
Yeah, if you have those plays back, this is a different ball game. You get a couple of those back. The old saying, someone used to say, we were 1 or 2 plays away from being right there in the winner's circle on this one, and that's true.
Yeah, and those are the things that those are easy things to fix in practice as a coach. But the one thing that embarrassed me is we had our first personal foul, since I've been a head coach at Stewart's Creek, and that's definitely was an embarrassing moment and an opportunity for us to really, get back in the game. So that's something that we've obviously addressed this week, and something we'll grow from. But a great second half. I'm really excited about how our team responded in the second half, and those are the things as a coach that give you a lot of optimism even after a tough quarter of football. Is I knew we were going to find out what type of team we were in the second half, and we definitely did. So proud of our guys for battling through a great environment over there, and definitely one that hopefully will give us the opportunity to get to right the ship moving forward. And hopefully we can get that going this Friday at East Nashville.
And now that you know what you can do and everything, when Stewart's Creek first started, I mean Smyrna, they kind of treat him as his little brother. But now that's all ended and everything, and of course Smyrna definitely respects Stewart's Creek, and they know that the time is coming, and but they don't know when. But eventually you're going to kick the door down, and then that question's going to be, now what? So waiting for that day to come, it didn't happen, and who knows? You never know, but you will not. It'll be a tough call, but the only way to see them this season is in the championship. That's the only way to see them, and both of you got to make it. But that would be a heck of a doing by both of you. Well, but let's move on to the next one. You got East Nashville, and I think you're on the road, and they won and beat Father Ryan 32-20. Coach Stewart, and game's going to be tough Friday night. I got news for you, Coach Caudill, and you know about East Nashville. They played in the state championship. I really like this game for you, and at this time of year, even coming off of the Smyrna one, you're going to get tested quick.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of people asking me why we have such a tough schedule, and it's because of the success we've had, in previous years. I've called 30 teams to get 5 games, and obviously East has really, really turned it on. Last year they, kind of struggled out of the gate and ended up, playing a very competitive game against Alcoa in the finals. And, they jumped out Stork against Father Ryan 21-0, and great athletes on offense, quarterback that can run it and throw it, big physical offensive line, and defense that, definitely, competes their tails off as well. And, you watch this team and you see that they know how to win and believe in each other. And, so going on the road, there on Friday is going to reveal a lot about our team. But, to be honest, Stork, after, last Friday, obviously we're putting our plan in place, to be successful against East Nashville. But we've spent a lot of time just, fixing things within our own locker room and, working on our own fundamentals. Emphasizing some mistakes that we've made and taking ownership of those. And, I'm excited to see how much we've grown as a team this Friday night when we pull into East Nashville.
Well, and the thing about it is that, of course, the non-region games, they kind of sort of count and everything. They're ball games and everything. But, of course, next Friday night it's do or die because we get into the region play. But you'll be battle-tested regardless. You got another 48 minutes in front of you. I mean, I really like this as you get ready to head into region play next Friday night. It's going to be hard to believe. You tell people you wait all year for high school football, this, that, and other. And just think, Coach, next Saturday when we get up, a quarter of the season is already in the books. I mean, it comes, and it seems like this past 4 or 5 days, it seems like that Rockville game I called was 10 years ago. It seems like it's been a long time since we've been up on the field. So I'm looking forward. I got a doubleheader. I've got Stork Vision tomorrow night with Smyrna and Rockville, and then got to back it up with Madison and Oakland. But I really like this challenge, and you going on the road because our region isn't easy, is it?
No, it's not. It's very challenging. A lot of great coaching, a lot of big schools with a lot of talent. There's no school you play where there's not one guy that can really take over the game in this county, and so that's obviously a lot of fun, but also a huge challenge as coaches to find the right pieces and plan every week. So yeah, I mean I'm with you though. I mean it's the season's definitely upon us, and dealing with in-school practices and injuries, and how to manage all those types of things with teenagers is always interesting and requires creative leadership. And luckily we've got a great locker room, got great coaches that really care about our kids, and that's what's exciting about showing up to work every day at Stewart's Creek High School.
Coach, be careful. Safe travels to East Nashville, and we will talk to you next week on Inside the Headset.
Thanks, Stuart. Appreciate you, man.
See you then.